Hello, I'm the Bonanza Critic. I bought the $20 DLC, so you don't have to. I mean, you could. I'm not your mom. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. But what I am here to do is tell you my thoughts on this, little package. Yeah, little. It's very little. So we had that Nintendo Direct today. Probably yesterday at the time of this video's release. And, you know, it had some decent stuff in there. There were some alright looking games. I was just really taken aback by just how expensive everything from that Direct is turning out to be. That does unfortunately include my boy DK. Now, you guys know me. You know me pretty well by this point, I would say. You know that I love Donkey Kong Bonanza. You know I've been out here pretty much since its reveal, glazing the shit out of it, from start to finish. I think it's a great game. So, man, it really does bring me some serious pain to get out here and have to tell you guys that, this ain't it. This just ain't it. But what even is it? Okay, so, I don't know, let's start there, I guess. Let's break it down here just a bit. The Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC is basically a mini-game mode for Donkey Kong Bonanza. You work with Void Kong, and you are tasked with collecting a bunch of emeralds for him. You're now a member of Void Co. So you gather emeralds, you get power-ups, you get all sorts of multipliers, and you make money. Emerald money. Look, I'll be the first to tell you, it's fun. It's pretty neat to stack all of the different abilities to get all kinds of crazy multipliers to really just skyrocket the amount of emeralds that you can collect. It's pretty fun in that regard. Although I think I might have gotten to a point where I've already figured out like some of the best multipliers. So it's already kind of sapped away any sort of challenge that I could get from this. I've unlocked all the different layers. Yes, you have to unlock the different layers that include this mode to be able to play the game mode in them. And I haven't done some of the harder layers yet, so who knows, maybe it really ramps up, but that remains to be seen. Truly, the star attraction of this whole thing is the fact that you get to explore DK Island again, which is so cool! Okay, the thing about it is that DK Island is so fucking barren, dude. There's not actually that much to see. There's a couple of fun little Easter eggs here and there, but that's about it. There's no new banana gems to collect, there's no new fossils, no new missions, no new nothing. It's essentially just a barren, empty hub world that you get to fill up with collectibles as you do these emerald challenges. What makes this package sting just so much more is just how quickly it has come out after Bonanza. Bonanza isn't even 2 months old yet. It's almost there, but we're not quite there. So Nintendo absolutely had this content made and ready to go at the time of release of Donkey Kong Bonanza. They purposely omitted the content from the game to repackage and sell back to us at a $20 fee. This is a pretty common practice in the modern gaming industry. It's the kind of shit that you see all the time on all kinds of other platforms. It just kind of sucks a bit more, just a bit more to see Nintendo taking a page out of the book of Ubisoft. It's not just Ubisoft, they were just the worst ones I could think of right now off the top of my head. And to see it done to Donkey Kong of all things. I mean, this entire package is essentially the equivalent of Luigi's Balloon World that they provided in a free update to us. And here they are charging it back to us for $20, man. Like, oh god. I thought this was essentially going to be the equivalent of like one of the small layers from the base game, something like the resort layer, where it was just one level pretty much that you had to explore, but there were, you know, bananas and fossils and things for you to do. No, that is not at all what this is. It's less than that, because you don't have all those things. This was a lazy cash grab. I mean, that's really all it was. There's no way in hell this content wasn't ready to go for launch. They purposely chose to set it to the side again to resell to us later at a $20 premium. I have a deep, unfortunate suspicion that this is not the last time we're going to see this tactic employed over the Switch 2's lifespan. Essentially what we're looking at is the free update model that they employed a lot during the Switch 1 generation, especially early on, except, well, Now they're charging us. They're gonna see what they can get away with, and I mean, I don't know, man. Nintendo's really pushing the envelope. We'll just say that. It kind of leads me into a whole different topic of discussion here, which well, maybe not a whole different topic. It's very related, but before I get to that, I guess just the content's fun. You know, what is in this package, this Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC? It's fun. $20 of fun? Probably not. And obviously the way they went about it is pretty scummy. I mean, there's not really any way around that. The benchmark, you know, for me and a lot of other people here lately has been looking at Hollow Knight Silksong, a game that is overflowing with stuff to do, tons and tons of content. $20 for that. This Bonanza DLC is not even going to scratch the surface of Silksong. And so yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, that's kind of the segue. Let's ride on into it here. Let's talk about this Nintendo DLC thing that they have going on right now. I thought about talking about this sooner. I had an idea to make a video about this way before now, but I wanted to hold off. I wanted to give the benefit of the doubt, at least wait until the next big general direct before I start blowing a gasket about Nintendo DLC. But today, oh boy, yeah, today sure was something. And it's not just DLC. I mean, it's kind of just the way that Nintendo is aiming to price their stuff in general moving forward. I think we all knew it was some BS when they were talking about variable pricing. Variable pricing as a concept is fine, but it has to go both ways. Something like the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, I mean, it really shouldn't have cost anything. It really should have just been a free update. But if you had to charge anything for it at all, $5? Maybe $10 max. 20 is highway robbery for this. And if you think 20 is fine, well, you know, that's good for you. But here's something that I really can't even consider up for debate. The Mario Galaxy games, dude. Holy. These are Wii games. For the record, $40 a pop. These aren't remakes, they aren't remasters, they aren't reboots, they aren't any kind of except for re-release, except maybe better frame rate and resolution now, and that's it. $40 a piece. You can get them bundled together for $70. Super Mario 3D All-Stars was just a couple of years ago, and while that was also pretty grossly overpriced if you ask me, you got 3 games there. All they did was take 2 games away, repackage the one, and give you one other game. This whole thing is $10 more than that package. What? Let's get a little extra funny. Let's get a little extra silly. Virtual Boy games coming to the Nintendo Expansion Pass. Seems fine enough on paper. It's a cool idea. It sounds fun. Well, okay, so turns out those games are not playable. They're not playable without the Virtual Boy headset. You have to buy a $100 plastic accessory to play Virtual Boy games on a service that already costs you $50 a year. You're looking at a $150 investment to play Virtual Boy games here. Or, you know, you can cut down on costs a little bit and get $25 of cardboard. But, oh man, dude, what an investment for some mediocre games. I'm sure there's probably some alright games in there, but man, Nintendo. They're really messing around here, and it's not very funny. It's kind of not very funny. And there was Pokemon ZA. They very stealthily announced a $30 DLC for Pokemon ZA. The game isn't even out yet. I said this on the stream. I was like, dude, Nintendo, you haven't even sold me on the base game yet. Good fucking lord. Have a little patience. Have a little humility here. Bonanza is almost that bad, but at least they waited until the game was out first before they came for our wallets. So I think it's like $110 for the complete Pokemon package if you want it at launch. Holy God. I'm looking at Mario Kart right now and I'm like, dude, I'm sweating. I'm sweating a bit, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that they didn't have DLC to announce, they're just making us brace for it. That shit's gonna be like 30, 40 bucks. Circling back around to the Virtual Boy as a launch pad here for a second. Turns out, it wasn't the only expensive plastic at this presentation today. Nintendo announced a buttload of new amiibo that are gonna be coming out, and what happened? Dude, what happened? What happened to these things? $50 Kirby Air Ride amiibos? What is going on? 30, 40, maybe it's an upwards of 50 Metroid amiibos? $40 Mario Galaxy amiibos? What the fuck? I'm just looking at everything here, you know? I'm just looking at all the things and realizing I'm gonna have to be very particular with the things that I buy from Nintendo this generation. I made a tweet, you know, saying like, hey, man, Nintendo, they are in like the greedy era right now. And you know how it is. The billion-dollar company apologists come out of the woodwork. They start calling you poor and defending the big N. And you know, you can defend it any which way you want, you know? But the truth of the matter is that, like, I feel like we're approaching a breaking point here, if we're not already there. No matter how you slice it, man, Nintendo's getting expensive. And the way the economy is for a lot of people right now, the way the world's going, all I'm saying is, I'm going to be very interested, and I'm going to be paying attention going forward here to see how well this whole new era for Nintendo is going to pan out. Nintendo doing greedy things is not a new thing, but the way they're going about it now, I don't know how you can look at games from like, what, 10, 15 years ago, like for instance, how Nintendo released the Galaxy games on the Wii U eShop for what, $10, $15? Maybe it was like 20 max? Fast forward to now and look at these Galaxy games for 40 bucks a piece and tell me that they aren't so much more full of themselves now than ever before. It's just gonna be interesting because like there's people like me, you know, who get out here and like we're gonna speak our minds about it. We're just gonna express discontent with it. But it's the silent majority that is going to be the real determiner of Nintendo's fate here. Because most people are either gonna look at the prices that Nintendo has laid out before us and either say, okay, that's fine, I will still buy this, or they're just going to not. And yes, there is a breaking point. It will happen. Nintendo has very valuable IPs and properties, which has allowed them to kind of get away with this sort of price gouging behavior up to this point. But again, I mean, people have their limits. Microsoft had also announced that they were going to try their hand at some $80 games going forward. And I believe it was for the Outer Worlds 2. They started with $80 pre-orders, and pre-order numbers were at record lows. So they backed out of that real quick. Nintendo has only taken a stab at the $80 thing once so far, and it was part of a bundle that you could get with the console. I'm not gonna sit here and try to predict what's gonna happen if, you know, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book is an $80 game. Maybe it'll sell gangbusters. But all I'm saying is, like, I feel like the more that Nintendo continues to push the envelope on things, the harder it's gonna get for them to continue to push sales. I don't know, it's a whole thing. But I don't know, who knows, maybe the DLC thing is how they kind of work around that. Launch a game at $70 and then release a sliver of the game later that actually gives you the complete package, and then it turns out to be $90 or $100 for the whole sucker, you know? The whole kit and caboodle. But look, you know, I'm not gonna tell you what to spend your money on. If you're okay with spending your money on these things, then hey, you know, go for it. You know, knock yourself out. I'm just wondering what's going to happen whenever the casual crowd, you know, where the real money is for Nintendo, starts to turn their nose up at some of these prices and stuff. Sales for the Switch 2 were incredibly strong out the gate, but I do have to wonder how well that's going to keep up. Having big tentpole games to look forward to is one thing, but also understanding that there is a massive price barrier to entry to even get into the space to play the games. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough for a lot of people. I know for me personally, I'm probably gonna be fairly picky about what kinds of Nintendo content I'm picking up moving forward. I mean, I kind of already have been during the Switch 2 generation so far. They've had the Mario Party DLC, they've had the Kirby and the Forgotten Land DLC. There's gonna be Mario Wonder DLC coming up too, all for 20 bucks a pop, and they don't really add that much substance to those games. I'd imagine Mario Wonder's probably gonna be the same way. It's not here yet, but just given the track record so far. I guess Bonanza too. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I don't just get all of my gaming entertainment from Nintendo's wheelhouse, so having to turn my nose up at some upcoming Nintendo things isn't gonna be that hard for me. I'm looking forward to Metroid. I'm looking forward to Kirby. I don't need any of the extra accessory bullshit to go along with it. And then, yeah, I don't know. Gonna take a wait and see approach from there. That's just my thoughts. I don't really like doing videos like this where I just gripe and bitch and moan about things, but I don't know. I just kind of thought that after today, some of the things Nintendo's doing, it just kind of sucks. But as usual, I want to hear your thoughts. How you feeling about the Donkey Kong DLC, huh? How you feeling about all the DLC and Nintendo's funny little prices? I hope you'll leave your thoughts in the comments below, whether you're like me and you're not a fan, or maybe you totally disagree with me and you think I'm an asshat and I don't know what I'm talking about and that I'm poor or something. I don't know. You can tell me all that in the comments too. That's fine. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. You know, subscribe if you're new and you enjoyed. I'm gonna go back to Silk Song now. Catch you later. Bye-bye.